Waking up this morning, there were two things that came to mind. The first was I heard two words: classical and static. Classical and static. Now, I didn't go to the phone as usual to get a deeper understanding or meaning. I just kind of sat with the two words and tried to connect them as best as I could. And the insight that I got with the two words were relating to a specific class or categorization or station for the static, like basically not stasis, like where you like dealing with water, but more so. And I know static has to deal with electricity, but I'm not speaking of it in that terms, but in a way it probably will connect also. I'm thinking more so the station that someone has been designated or categorized in. And then the next thing that I heard was age 4 or around 4 years old. So around 4 years old, there's something that could have been introduced into someone's psyche that kept them in this specific station in their mind, or in this specific limitation in their ability to grow beyond something. I know I did a video yesterday and it was relating to the home and the Cancer energy. So that number 4 is still significant for some reason today. I pulled just a few cards and I have 555 out here already. And so something about your station, how you've been designated or classified or categorized, that could be transforming, shifting, or changing. Or this could be the message that, okay, this is the encouragement you need perhaps to help you shift out of there. So it's bringing some insight or awareness into something that perhaps you're not even, it's like not even on the radar that this is at play for some of us, perhaps. I say some of us because I never know if this is relevant, specific to me as well, or just to the collective. So number 4 is at play again today already, with the 3 cards that I initially pulled. Capricorn is the first of the top layer, and then we have Athena or Pallas Athena, which talks about the reasoning, the rational mind, the thinking, and of course planning and strategizing as well. There's like this helmet of this Roman, mask or head dressing, and I did say classical, so something about the time period. And then we have the North Node that's right next to it. So don't know where this is gonna go. Usually I try to sit off camera and come to some conclusion, but this, yeah, I journaled a little bit, but not too much yet. This might be a shorter video also, so let's just look at it together. All right, so the station that someone has been placed in at a young age, which created a sense of restriction or limitation in the ideas of what, like how the world is, how the world operates. Okay, think about class culture, think about status, think about socioeconomic placement or designations, something of that nature. And age 4. Now, significant to my past, I do know that at age 4, my home, my sense of security, my sense of perhaps belonging, my sense of stability, that was, I would say, fractured. I wasn't with my mother at that time for a span of 3 years, 3 to 4 years, and then also starting at age 3, and then also I can't really say that there was a connect with my paternal side. Um, Even though he was around, I don't have a lot of memories of interaction there as far as the fatherly presence. But yeah, he was present, not emotionally, if I had to say that, not emotionally. So that's on a personal note. So with you, maybe this message is to help you kind of revisit that area, age 4, to see what transpired during that time that has shaped your thinking, um, shaped your, or maybe have limited your goals. Um, and that's like someone maybe being called to come outside of this limitation or this idea of whatever you've been designated in. Okay. All right. So Scorpio could be significant. Leo and Sagittarius, and I already said Capricorn. So those are the signs that came out already for the collective. So let's see if we can get into this a little bit deeper. Number 4, right? 31 goes to 4. Juno, partnerships. Okay. Partnerships. You know, with the 2 birds, I think of a couple. You can look at it as parents. You can look at it as, let's say, husband, wife. Okay. So just possibly how we relate to each others, or even how we relate to self. Let me see if I get anything else from, so communication is one thing. So some things could have been communicated to you at that age that created this limitation, or just by observing certain interactions at that age could have solidified something within the mind as far as how to be. It's about your being. It's about how you're operating in society, or within yourself. Let's see. 31. You could be 31. You could have a partner. Exchanging something, exchanging views, exchanging ideas. And then we have nurture. So it's something about how you were nurtured. For sure, how you were nurtured in that space that created these, thinking of a hanger like hanging up the coat, hanging up something, or hangman, you know, where it's like causing perhaps blockages in the perception. Series, that's the mother energy, that's the nurturing energy that perhaps was absent at a certain time frame. And that's perhaps what's coming back for you to maybe work on or infuse into your current situation if you have a partner that you're working with. It's going to be a challenge if there are things within the childhood that we haven't really gotten a handle on, and now we're in a relationship. It's going to be, or can be difficult to be there fully, to be fully present in those partnerships when we have not connected the dots in our own, let's say, childhood experiences and the lack of whatever we've, received from, let's say, absent parents, or if they were present, emotionally absent parents. This is not to get on parents and drag them through the mud. You know, we all have our challenges and disadvantages based on our own experiences. So this is just to bring awareness. Okay, this is never to bring judgment. It's just the awareness that's needed right now. Okay, We have Neptune, and it says the square, okay? So, oops, there's another one. Midheaven. Okay, so 3 cards just came out, and they're in the center now, okay? So this is where our focus is being shifted, okay, with this dynamic as far as how we envision, let's say, our future, how we envision situations where someone could be seeing things like it's always going to be this way. And it's that mindset that creates the this way, whatever the this way is. And it's a cycle of tension. It's not necessarily a pull and pull, excuse me, push and pull. It's more so both aspects meeting the resistance with the same force, okay? And so there's no leeway, there's no giving way. So something needs to, I'm gonna get, yeah, softened. Something needs to be smooth or worked out, smooth out. Like someone needs to let their guards down a little bit, okay? And not be so defensive, not feel like you have to protect yourself all the time, not feel so disempowered. And then also disengage. I'm getting like, you know, if both partners, because look at these birds, right? Initially, right? Okay, this looks more harmonious. I don't see any tension. There's open communication here. There's a sense of growth with the flowers surrounding that, or calm. And then look at this one. Look at all the colors, and then the friction in this type of exchange, right? So there's a challenge in a certain exchange. Number 9 also could be, okay, so we have 999. So there's some type of completion of some type of experience, where someone is learning how to stop giving into this idea that it's always going to, okay, so this is the all or nothing thinking, right? The all or nothing thinking pattern, or the black and white. It's either this or it's either that, where I'm learning both could be true. And so the need to compromise, or the need to just take what you can from the situation and fuse it into whatever aspect you need to, and then like allow, I'm not sure why I'm hearing amalgamation to take place. Don't know what that means. I have an idea, but I don't know the significance of that in this context. So a molding to take place, a shaping to take place, or a different type of organization. So like organizing something differently so that it's not in the same structure or in the same framework, okay? It's not that you have to throw everything out, but there's some things that require adjustment, a reordering or restructuring that will help to bring about more like movement. So with the static and the classical that I said earlier, it was almost like whatever happened in this level of development, or at the stage of development, it created like absence of movement. And it was intentional, perhaps, where this designation was to keep a certain subgroup or individuals in this stationary, okay, stationary, without flow, without movement, without growth, okay? And so something about the thinking is shifting. And this could have been done by like an authoritative figure. The 10th house also speaks about governance, how you govern yourself, your authority, or how you relate with authority figures, and also perhaps you taking authority over like situations like where If you were born into a specific station, you know, it doesn't say you have to stay there, but perhaps that's what you thought, right? With the Athena here, your reasoning could be, okay, this is where I was born, and so this is all I know, and so this is what I'm going to just accept, right? Whereas with authority, it's you look at how you relate to those in authority and the authority that you have over yourself, like as a sovereign being, that could be changing for some, or transforming in a way where you perhaps get some additional education or new classes and new insight to help you shift how you've been operating. Yeah, the message, it seems like I'm feeling this restriction in my gut, my stomach area. So that is the solar plexus. So that could be talking about, let's say, the willpower, and even, why did I just hear your identity? But I'm gonna say your willpower, your strength. Oh, right, your self-confidence. Okay, so it's talking about your self-confidence, in some type of area. We have the message coming out. Okay, your self-confidence, and maybe how you communicate, how you exchange information. Maybe you don't think you're smart enough for certain things. Maybe you doubt your abilities. Maybe you lack the courage to face certain truths about your upbringing, about your past, about your current situation. And this message could just be, okay, yeah, it may be it may be a sense of discomfort or tension. But if you want to rise above these things to achieve whatever outcome you want in your partnerships, then it's going to take some looking in or looking at, and then you envisioning, like, what is it that you want to experience in your life? Do you want to stay in this space, in this designated area? And especially if it's a locale, think about your area. Do you want to stay in this specific region, area? Or it could just be, again, the mindset, right? Leo talks about coming out of something in a way that shows more bravery, more dignified strength and tenacity, to do something, okay? With the Leo and the Sagittarius right next to each other. It says expand and shine, literally. Expand and shine. So this message could be building off of the message that I haven't even uploaded yet, which is speaking about the things you learned, right? Saturn and the home. Okay, the things you have been taught, the things that you have become accustomed to, the stations, the titles, the designations, perhaps. 4224, mirroring numbers could be significant. Sometimes we can be looking at a situation, and the situation is literally reflecting something back to us that either we are lacking or that we need, and we haven't quite registered that this is what's at play. So it's a mirroring, like you're seeing something, could be in a partner, and they're reflecting something back to you to help maybe trigger some type of process within yourself, as far as introspection, but maybe not quite relating or not quite getting the sync. So the syncing could be off, or you could be looking outside of where you need to be or you could be looking in the wrong place. If it's the wrong alignment or wrong connection, that could be something like that. I don't know. And again, partnership could speak about like professional partnerships or just partnerships in general, as far as with other individuals. I'm not necessarily labeling the partnerships, okay? All right, I think that's pretty much the message. Something has been defined for you at a young age that's contributing to the way in which you are operating now. And it's a system that creates static in the movement, in the direction that you're trying to go in. It's creating this. Okay, let's say you're trying to reach for new heights. Let's say you're trying to, expand, open up more and elevate. Okay, there's something that's creating this static energy, hangman type energy, that you need to look at. And the series, the nurture card is out here with the North Node, so that's telling me that's the direction you need to perhaps consider. This is a softening. This is a mothering energy. This is a sense of comfort. Okay, comforting something, or being kind to yourself, being kind to others, being kind with how you talk to yourself or how you view your situation. Okay. Series. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I know it's a 5-letter word, right? But still, different dialects and, pronunciations could still, it can still sound different. So it could be something that's so simple that can be complicated unnecessarily. And it's because of the that designation that someone has either bought into or have been in alignment with that. It just doesn't quite it just doesn't quite set the right tone. It's not doing you justice. It's not your just due. There's something that it's just not adding up. It's not feeding the soul how it needs to. Okay, and so Pluto is saying there's the need for, and 2222 just showed up on the timestamp. There's a need for something to, come to an end, a completion, to change and reshape, right? It's a reshaping of something. It's a reshaping. It's a renewal even. It's an adjustment, a spiritual attunement or alignment for some. Again, number 27 or number 9 is speaking heavily right now for someone. Okay, all right, that is the message. Okay, for today we have 9th house again, Sagittarius, big time, exploration. So there's more for you to explore or to experience. And that's why you're feeling this tension right now in the partnership or the situation that you're currently in. All right. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you next time.